this.
Me.
Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome in to the first semi-stream, semi-podcast that we've done in like
Uh,
a year and a half since we've done one of these, Bowen.
I don't remember the last time we did one of these.
It's been a really long time. But we're back. And so is The Last of Us. Season 2 is underway. Episode 1 has been watched. We've got thoughts. So, Bowen, is there anywhere you want to start with this or just have at it?
Just have at it.
Let's just have at it. All right. So, if I was just to ask you basically, in general, and okay, well, let me set the table a little bit here. So, me and
I'm gonna
Bohan
mess
both
it up.
me and Bohan both have never played Last of Us Part 2. So that's first off. And this kind of sets up for an interesting situation. We both know what happens in the video game, like most people do. So we both know how it happens. I don't think either of us know exactly how it happens. Like, did you ever watch like a playthrough of Last of Us Part 2? Because I never did.
I watched PewDiePie play a little bit of it.
Yeah, but do you know like every aspect of the story and everything?
No, I don't know every single little detail of every single thing.
Yeah. So I'm kind of curious how this is for us now, because obviously the first season I had played The Last of Us, but this is a totally fresh thing for me. So I kind of get to come into it completely clear-minded without a whole lot of biases. So it's going to be kind of interesting, at least until the big stuff happens that I've known and everybody else has known about it. So, I'm going to just give basic impressions to start with. Yeah, we'll get into that.
I'm reading chat.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. But I think this was pretty good. In general, it's the first episode. You're not going to get like too much crazy shit happening, but it's setting the groundwork for what could be really, really interesting. Again, like, I haven't played the video game, so I don't know entirely what all of this is going to lead to, except for the big obvious stuff. So if I was to come into this with no knowledge at all, I would think this is a great opening that sets up beautifully for an awesome season of The Last of Us Season 2. But knowing what I know, it does make it a little bit difficult coming in. But I like the new characters. I think Dina, who's played by Isabella Merced, is outstanding. I really like that character already. I think she's really interesting. I think the odd thing is, and I know this turns into like the most hated character ever in Abby, I thought she was played pretty well for that one scene. Like, the vitriol and hatred really came through. If I didn't know what I know about her, I would say that she looks like she's going to be a really interesting character. So I think right now it looks really interesting and looks really good, just as an overall thought for the season, and looks like they're kind of picking up right where they left off with season 1. Bohan?
Yeah, so probably gonna get a little shit on for this.
Oh.
So I know it's the first episode in the season, and it has to start somewhere. But I was kind of bored throughout. Like,
Okay.
as far as like everything with like acting, I thought the acting was good, but all the episode really was an angsty 19-year-old girl and her adopted father. Is all the episode really was.
I could see that. I think that, like, yeah, the angsty 19-year-old stuff gets kind of old and everything, but I kind of feel like they have to set this whole thing up. I do agree that I don't think Ellie comes into this season looking particularly as interesting. Like, I don't really want to see this from her. Obviously, it's a little different, but she also doesn't know what Joel did. at this point. So really, she's just getting pissed for no reason, as far as we know.
I mean, she might be sus of it. Like, she might, like, in the back of her
Yeah.
mind, she might know that Joel is lying to her about that. But yeah, overall, it was just about an angsty teenage girl and her dad. That's really all that
Yeah,
I got out of it.
kinda.
There
I
were
mean,
some things that I found interesting in the episode, but
hmm
yeah, overall, I would say it was pretty mid.
I could see it. Well, I could see it from the perspective of Joel and Ellie don't look like the Joel stuff. I don't. It's odd for the two main characters that Joel and Ellie kind of look like they're not going to be as interesting as they were in season one from this very beginning of season two. Like they both kind of seem like their dynamic is getting kind of a little old. I am a little surprised that this is how it went. You know, that Ellie is like this pissed off at Joel right now and has all these issues with him just because I guess she's just a teenager, at least as far as we know. And Joel is kind of still doing the same stuff he was kind of doing at the end of season one, just extremely
The thing
overprotective and
is,
annoying and stuff.
I think Ellie is supposed to be 19. Am I
Yeah.
right there?
I believe, well, they say
I
she's
don't
19 multiple times
I
in
don't
the
remember
movies.
acting
So,
like that when I was 19.
yeah, I don't know if like it takes you longer to get to the angsty teenage years when you're in an apocalypse.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
I don't know if that's how that works, but yeah, 19 is kind of a weird age to be acting that way. It's usually more like 13, 14 you'd be acting like that. But I don't know. I think like the whole thing of her being overly overzealous is kind of annoying. Like I kind of seen that before, kind of thing. Like I'm just gonna be super rebellious, dumb kid. It's like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
she's being really reckless, and I know everyone's gonna be like, "That's the point. That's the point." I know that's the point. It's just too predictable.
What I do really like is all the storylines that it seems to be setting up.
Yeah,
I think that's what's interesting to me.
there were some things that I picked out in the episode that I was like, "That's kind of cool. I wonder where that's gonna go."
Yeah, yeah. I thought the was that like a sewer drain at the end of the thing with the.
So it looked like it was some sort of plumbing, I would assume,
Mm-hmm.
but the fact that the uh oh man, what they're
The,
called just completely left my
are you
mind.
talking about like the fungus thing? What it's called? Because I was trying to figure that it's got a scientific name for what that shit
Yeah,
is.
I just had it at the tip of my tongue, and
I
now
can't
it
remember it at
is
all.
completely gone.
I want to say cephalopods, but it's definitely not because that's
No, not a
squids.
cephalopod. That's like an octopus.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if I say words that are close to it, I might figure it out. But
Just
it's
keep saying
just keep saying things that I
C
know
words.
aren't it.
Just keep saying things, man. We'll get there, man. Cordyceps.
Cordyceps. There we go.
Yep,
See, I told you.
cordyceps.
You just have to
There, we
keep saying
just
the wrong
have
thing.
to sound it out a little bit.
Yeah, cephalopod cordyceps. Yeah.
But yeah, I liked that. And I really liked whenever they threw down the oh, hold on, I'm gonna fart. Oh, I really like the part where they throw down that it's like a firework or a flare, and they're like reaching out to it. I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I
are they attracted to the warmth because it's so cold? Like, do they want the warmth, or do they know that that is some sort of fire, and they know where there's fire, there's people? Because they made a point in the show that they are getting smarter.
yeah. Yeah, and I think the idea that they're evolving is really interesting. I think that's kind of needed too. They really need that to keep the story interesting and fresh and keep it going. I think that the idea that they're because I was thinking when Ellie was fighting the one girl, fungus bro. That's what we used to call them. It's been a while.
Yeah, the Fungus Bros.
Yeah, when she was fighting the girl fungus bro, I thought that was like I was like, man, this is really kind of weird. Is she dreaming this? Because that's the Fungus Bro isn't acting right. And then they have an
Yeah,
explanation
I
for it, which I thought was
that was
interesting.
probably where I was having the most like enjoyment out of the episode is whenever she falls down into the basement of that. I'm guessing that was a supermarket or something.
Looks like it, yeah.
And because there was the clicker up there, which they neutralize the clicker, and then Ellie falls through the floor and is in the basement or the first floor of this convenience store, supermarket, whatever it is. And there's another fungus bro down there, and the fungus bro doesn't charge at her immediately, trying to rip her flesh off. It almost baits her in because she even screams at it like, "Come on, run at me!" And it's like,
Hmm.
nope, and yeets itself away from her and goes and hides and waits and stalks her and ambushes her.
Yeah. Now, as
Yeah, I
just
like that.
just to point out though, like from Ellie's questions in the chat, yeah, it's like gonna be kind of both. Like it's probably gonna be a YouTube video, and I'll be like reading chat here and there, and kind of going back and forth. So that's kind of what we're doing. But I know it's very frustrating. We're trying. We're getting there. So I'll probably be referencing chat kind of on and off as we do it. But yeah, because I thought in that scene, do we call him a fungus sis at this point, or are they all fungus bros? Because he was clearly a girl. Does it matter? Or is everybody a fungus bro?
Let's just call
Because
them all fungus bros.
fungus sis doesn't sound good. It sounds like a
They're
fungus
just all
cyst,
gonna be
which
fungus bro. They're all connected.
they're all connected. They're all bros one way or another.
Because that's the thing also with the cordyceps like reaching out of the that pipe is
Hmm.
since they're all connected, like they're all gonna feel whatever that like those veins are feeling that are reaching out of the pipe. So
Yeah.
like it's gonna be able to communicate with all the other fungus bros and be like, hey, there's warmth here or civilization here or whatever it is that it's wanting.
Hmm. And I still think this show, like, it still kept that major interest to it. But I think you're right, Joel and Ellie. I don't know if this character dynamic's gonna really work. Like, I kind of
I'm
hope they
hoping
kind
that
of
it
get past this a little bit.
yeah, I'm hoping they get past it too and that it corrects itself. I do remember whenever I was watching PewDiePie's playthrough, I do remember Joel and Ellie having a good moment, and maybe that'll come up soon with them and a guitar. Because I know Joel just restringed the guitar, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
hoping maybe that moment's in like the next episode or something.
possibly. Um, and now, what did you think of the little romance thing? Because I liked the romance a lot. It just happened instantly, which I kind of thought that might be more of a like, because when they set it up between her and Dina, I was thinking like, oh, she's talking about um writing in her journal, don't fuck this up, don't fuck this up. And then they're making out like 2 minutes later. There was not a whole lot of like build up. I guess.
Dina was drunk too,
Yeah, that well, high. I mean,
and
that'll
high,
that'll
probably
speed
both.
things along, I guess. But yeah, I thought that's like and in general, she's an interesting character dynamic to add in. Um, but what did you think of the opening scene with the fireflies and Abby?
I thought it was fine. I mean, it was short, but yeah, it was fine. The actress does a good job, even though
Yeah,
it's not. I'm hoping we get to see more of her. I'm not sure when we're going to get to see more of her because I don't know how they're going to structure this season because they've already been renewed for a season 3. I kind of thought this was just going to be season 1, season 2, season 1 covering the first game, season 2
yeah,
covering the second game. That
yeah.
doesn't
Have
appear to be the case.
I don't know if they've specifically said that they're just taking The Last of Us Part Two, the video game, and putting it into 2 seasons, or if they're actually adding on to The Last of Us lore with season 3. I don't know if they've revealed their plans or not of what season 3 is going to be. Um,
But knowing some of the big plot points from the game, I hope they I hope they kind of change some of the plot points that I know a majority of people did not like.
that's the most interesting thing about this season is how faithful to the game are they going to be? My guess is extremely faithful. I would be surprised if they change anything. Because the first season, they really didn't change much of all from the original game. So I'm really very curious what they'll do from there. And I am drinking a lemon ginger tea, Ellie. And she also said, I think I remember someone saying they aren't going beyond the games with the show. So that would say that they are doing a, splitting it in half, which is.
Then why didn't they do that with season 1? Because they could have given season 1 even more space to develop.
Yeah, they definitely could have. Which kind of concerns me too, because like you said, you thought it was a little bit slow this opening episode, more or less.
Yeah, and like I said, I know I'm gonna get shit on. I know it's the first episode, but
well,
it was just I've seen the whole angsty daughter and dad that wants the daughter's approval thing so many times that let's just hurry up and get past that.
Well, then the therapist even kind of says that. It's like, oh no, a 19-year-old is angsty.
Yeah, I forgot all about the therapist.
Which was kind of odd too. The therapist scene was interesting. I mean, that is what I would think a therapist from the Apocalypse would act like.
I was trying to think whenever she was talking. I was like, who is Eugene? Because she mentioned somebody named Eugene. I didn't remember anyone in season 1 named that. I actually had to go look it up, and I guess it's somebody that got killed off screen. Oh, hold on. I got another fart. Oh
my God. I heard that one. I got that one. I'm so proud.
But yeah, I guess he was killed off screen. Maybe we'll get a flashback episode that shows what happened there.
Well, I'm assuming he must have turned.
Oh, that smells awful.
And then he killed her.
Yeah, I figure it's probably something along the lines of they were out on like a recon and he got bit and he told Joel like, "Hey, just shoot me in the face, bro." And he shot him in the face. And the therapist was like, "I know you had to do it, but you still did it."
Yeah, that was kind of an odd scene, but I kind of get what she was trying to do.
Yeah, I get it too.
But I think like that because it did occur to me on like I wonder how good she is on the therapist privilege and stuff in the post-apocalypse. Because if this was today's day and age and you're like, well, I killed 30 people, you're like, I don't know if you get to keep well, it's not attorney-client privilege, but therapist-client privilege and stuff.
I'm pretty sure if it involves murder, I don't think the therapist can keep that a secret.
Yeah, and she definitely probably
like if you go to your therapist and you're like, "Hey,
real therapist.
So, my mom made me really mad, and I cut her throat and hid her body in the basement." Pretty sure the therapist is gonna have to be like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to, probably go to jail."
It depends. I think some therapists take that really, really seriously and won't say a thing, which is pretty wild. But I mean, Langford basically said the same thing, saying the showrunners basically straight up adapting the games. They're not going beyond it. I kind of wonder if we're going to get more episodes like the episode with Nick Offerman. I can't remember what their names were. The characters' names.
Was it Bill and Frank?
Bill and Frank, yeah. I wonder if we're going to get more episodes like that where those guys aren't really involved in the video game at all and they just tell a story outside of the video game. Because they technically did that a lot in season 1. I mean, they did the, flashbacks that weren't a part of the video game and stuff, which were outstanding. And the Bill and Frank episode, which was really well received. So I wonder if they're going to fill in a lot with that. I mean...
Well, see, this is why I wish season 1... This is why I wish season 1 would have been... Like, they could have done 2 seasons with season 1 and 2 seasons with this. I mean, they could have done 2 seasons with the first game and 2 seasons with the second game. Like, they should have split them both in half. That way, both seasons, like, they could flush them out as much as they want, if that were the case.
I am a little concerned because, we talked about being potentially a little bit slow. What if that's simply because they're slowing everything down, which is going to make each episode feel more of a drag? Like, they're not really... is this what things are going to be like? Because I thought the first season, from someone who had played the video game, I'm like, man, they're really flying through some of this stuff. They did. They could take their time.
I thought the first season was really good. I
Yeah,
just thought that it's kind of fast
yeah, yeah. Like they could have taken a lot more time
because it
in
was
season
only
one.
it was only what 8 episodes. Is that how
Uh,
long season one was? I feel like it was 8.
8 or 9. I don't remember how many episodes it was, but it was pretty short. Yeah, like I because that entire time they were with the what was that, the cannibal people and that David dude. Like I remember in the game, that's a really long period of time, and I think they went through that whole thing in like one episode, maybe
I
two.
think it was just an episode. Yeah,
No,
I think it was
so
just
like
one.
they flew through that. They could have really fleshed that out for a couple episodes. So I guess from that point of view, it's a good thing that they're going slower. But
The only thing I can think of why they did this, maybe they didn't know how the first season was going to be received, and that's why they did it the way they did it.
well, they may have had less of a budget. Maybe they have more of a budget now. Although they had some incredible special effects in the first season.
They really did.
And I know there wasn't a lot of special effects in this episode, but the ones that were in it with the cordyceps was pretty badass looking. It was
Yeah,
very,
the clicker was cool.
yeah, clicker was
The
cool. The little cordyceps coming out of her mouth were pretty cool looking.
Yeah, that was cool. There were some.
Yeah.
I think there were some coming out of her nose too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think there were a couple of tendrils like poking out of her nose.
Right. So there's a lot of potentially interesting things that they could do, but I get your point. I don't think Joel and Ellie look particularly more interesting right now. But
I mean,
should get there.
especially Ellie, and I know that's Ellie's like attitude. That's how she is. But Joel's just trying to he's just trying to do what he thinks is best for her. He just wants to help her. He just wants her acknowledgement.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he's still going through extreme guilt and probably feeling a lot of like selfishness in the idea of, I gave up everything to save you. I expect some, gratitude, which is not a great idea to get from a young girl in this situation, especially a teenage girl who's getting angsty. But, probably shouldn't have like mass murdered people either. So it's a little complicated. When they get to that episode with Joel and Abby, it's going to be a big moment because a shit ton of normies watch this show. And when The Last of Us 2 came out and had a lot of defenders, the show is going to prove really who's right and who isn't. Because The Last of Us 2, obviously, fans pretty much hated, so it'll be interesting to see how this scene impacts the show. Yeah, I think everything's kind of building to the Joel Abby confrontation. My guess is that's going to be the season finale. I don't know when that happens in the
You
video
think
game.
so?
That's
I
what I
thought that
think it
happened
is.
kind of early in the game.
I don't know how early it happens in the game. That's the problem.
Yeah, I thought that was like an early event in the game. I could
You
be
think it's
wrong.
very early? Okay, so maybe they won't do it that way, but I guess it depends how slow they go, unless they add a lot of stuff. Yeah, I know it happens in the first half, but I thought maybe it was like halfway through the game before that happened. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna go. I mean, I think they're gonna do exactly what happened in the video game. I mean, I'd be absolutely shocked if they if they don't. That would be a total shock. But assuming they do go that route, Ellie is going to be the main character of this entire season. Assuming
Bella
they,
Ramsey's gonna have to
she's gonna have
really
to
carry it.
carry. Yeah. So, and she, like you said, she's not super interesting at this moment. So I hope she
And she is a
keeps
good
going.
actress. Like she nails the part. I just don't want to see the like I don't want them to be like, wow, Joel and Ellie have such a rough relationship right now, right, guys? And it trails on for like the next 5 episodes. That is going to be unbearable. That's gonna be
Yeah.
like watching Damon be stuck at fucking Harrenhal in season 2 of House of the Dragon all over again.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally forgot how shitty that was till this moment.
Yep. Yep.
Hello,
I just hope
villainy.
they don't do
Welcome
that.
in. Yeah, I think I I I just I think this entire thing is going to be such an interesting experiment because I know and a lot of people know how much they don't like what the video game did in part 2. I'm just so curious to see like if they do it exactly the same, what are people's reactions going to be?
Yeah, I mean it's kind of what Lang said.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting. I'm just so curious how people are going to react to it. Like, would it be better in a TV show form? Or is it still just as dog shit? Like, is there any way that they can make this work? Can they make that plot line land better than they did in the video game? Or is this just definitely going to piss everybody off and there's just no other way around it? I don't know. I think that part's going to be kind of fascinating to see what happens. Doing this fine day. So, is there anything else you had in mind from the episode that you wanted to talk about?
No, not that I can think of. I'm excited to see what they do with the cordyceps throughout the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, and I would think they might be able to do even more special effects stuff. So I'm kind of curious how much deeper and crazier the
Because does that happen in
monsters
the
get.
part 2 of the game? Like, do the cordyceps get smarter in the second game, or is that something they're throwing on for the show?
The only thing I really know about the second game is the big plot points that everybody knows with Joel and with Abby and all that kind of stuff. And I know how it ends, at least the video game, but honestly everything else I'm kind of clueless. So, it's an interesting position to be in. But yeah, pretty clueless otherwise.
Okay.
So we'll see. So I'm gonna open this up to chat just for a couple minutes. If you guys wanted to ask any questions or any thoughts about anything as far as the show is concerned. I mean, I guess you can ask how our day is, but that's not really what I'm looking for on this. People remember in The Walking Dead when they killed off Glenn, that was kind of where The Walking Dead started to fall off a lot. That's an interesting point. That was one of the last things I even remember happening in The Walking Dead. Because in The Walking Dead, what was interesting about that episode was that it was like the biggest thing going on. It might be the most popular thing that ever happened in The Walking Dead was the Negan confrontation where he kills Glenn and I think he kills Abraham too. But that is also where the show started to decline. So
I just got really bored of The Walking Dead. I love Negan. I think Jeffrey Dean Morgan nails the part, but
yeah.
I just got bored of The Walking Dead.
And I think that
Really.
episode and like what happens was really a good episode. It was really impactful, but they didn't have they weren't able to hold on to it. Like they didn't hold on to that level of like uh suspense. And I think part of it was didn't they keep Rick alive forever? And Rick like needed to go until it was just getting ridiculous how they kept teasing that they were going to kill Rick and they didn't. I mean, I
Well,
wasn't watching The
technically,
Walking Dead anymore. I know he eventually died, or
no, he's
at
still
least
alive.
left. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I guess he just left.
Him and Michonne have their own spinoff now. I think it's called The Ones
Of
Who Live
course
or
they
something like
fucking
that.
do.
Yeah.
These fucking spinoffs. I mean, like this is the problem when you do these shows with like
Yeah, cuz so
you set up these crazy stakes and then you get pussified later, which is Game of
so The
Thrones,
Walking
100%.
Dead has officially ended, but now you have Walking Dead City, which is I think with Negan and Maggie, and then you have The Ones Who Live with Rick and Michonne, and then I think Daryl and Carol are gonna have their own show, or they already do.
I think they're on Carol already do. I fucking hate Carol. I've always hated Carol so much. She ruined The Walking Dead for me. I hated her character. That's another entire story, I guess. There's no way it doesn't become a disaster. The story is broken from the get go unless they fundamentally change the story around Joel. It can't work. I I kind of agree. I mean, I'm curious what they'll do. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't know how they're gonna make that work because it is so universally hated by people. Between Glenn dying and Joel dying, as The Walking Dead continued because they still had more stories to tell, which could impact the show for the normies. As Joel was going to die, the show is just going to end like 3 episodes later. That's it for the series. Well, it does sound like there's a lot more. Like at least as far as the video game was concerned, if you guys are right, there's going to be a lot more episodes after Joel dies. So, not 3 episodes, but yeah, within. I mean, there might be a whole other season. I'm not sure how they're going to do that.
Well, when I was watching, God, when I was watching PewDiePie play that, it was like 5 years ago because I think that's when the game came out. Was like in
It's
2020 or
2019,
2021.
I think.
Was it
2019.
2019?
I think it was before COVID. Maybe
I thought it came out
2018?
during COVID.
No, I don't. No, I'll look it up real quick.
Well, I remember being here at my house watching PewDiePie play it
Oh,
like
you're right.
live.
Yeah, June 2020. So basically prime COVID.
And I remember seeing it not too long after Joel dies. I remember seeing Ellie and Dina. I think they go back to where the Fireflies were, and like the city's all overgrown, and there's like giraffes and zoo animals running around and stuff like that.
Yeah. Saw legs come. Said Saudi streamed and Abby's boob popped out and Swanee stream got taken down.
Wait, what?
I don't remember hearing about
Is that
that.
real?
I I, I don't know. That's what they just said. See, this is why you
You
should
didn't hear
listen to
about that?
women.
I
I
don't remember
don't.
ever hearing about
I
that.
don't think I ever heard about that. How would Swanee not tell us that? That was 5 years ago. July 2020.
And Swanee streamed?
Game of the year, Ghost of Tsushima. Swanee streamed 5 years ago? Everyone just freaked out and glossed over it. I mean, I've had a boob pop out on my stream. Grand Theft Auto incident. It'd be that way. Well,
Good one, Bohan, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
What was a good one?
I don't know. See if Nebula ever tells us.
Oh, maybe to the Swanee streaming thing.
Oh, yeah. Swanee
I
streamed
farted.
for like 12 hours. The chat turned off, so the viewers were talking in the Discord. When they got to a sex scene with Abby, her tits popped out and the stream got hit. What? Wow, there's so many different interesting things. Why did he play a game for 12 hours with the chat off? Oh, to avoid spoilers, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I don't remember him ever doing that, though.
It sounds a little familiar, but I don't really remember it either. I don't remember getting a stream getting hit. He had to delete that stream with it. This is starting to sound like something. Abby's sex scene. Well, we got that to look forward to. All right.
You think they're gonna do that stuff in the show, though?
I mean, it could. I don't know. I mean, it's got a high enough rating. They could. I remember listening to the stream while doing dishes at my new house. I heard him start screaming. Then Langy and Noah told me not to worry about it. All right. Well, I think that'll do it for this stream. In general, these little stream podcasts are going to be not like 2 hours long. So just want to throw that out there. These won't be like super duper long. I'm sure the ones like season finales and stuff will be longer when we have more to say and stuff like that. But, you know, that's probably it. I was hoping to do it for Andor. It just depends on how our schedules and stuff work out.
Yeah, it depends on how schedules correlate, but
yeah,
it would be nice to do it for Andor. I'm actually looking forward to Andor.
Andor is going to be interesting because it's 3 episodes at a time, so those streams might be decently long. We'd have quite a bit.
If we're covering 3 episodes, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that might be. I think.
When does that come out? Does that come out tomorrow?
I think it comes out next Tuesday. I think it's 1 week.
Oh, it's next Tuesday. Oh, okay.
I believe it's the 22nd when it comes out. Yeah, next week. All right, I'm right on it. So we'll probably have another Last of Us podcast before we do Andor.
My farts smell awful. Ooh.
That's good, brother.
That last one was like pseudo wet, and I can kind of taste it.
Okay. that got in my head for a second as I was trying to taste my tea.
Yeah, my butthole's a little sticky.
I mean, that's the best way to end a stream is with a sticky butthole.
And I'm not going to clean it.
That's even better.
Wait.
I don't need to know this.
Wait. Hold on. Ooh, this is risky. I think. I'm not going to do that one. That one's going to be shit. I'm not doing that one.
Don't feel pressured to
I'm not
perform.
doing that one. I'm gonna have to poop.
All right. Well, Bowen's gonna go poop, and I'm gonna end the stream. So I will talk to you guys in the next stream. Don't know exactly what that'll be, but we should have something for probably the next episode of The Last of Us next week, and then Andor after that. If not, another stream before then. So take care, peoples. Thanks for watching,
Oh, I think.
and
Oh.
I did hear that.
All right. There's my goodbye fart.
My pants are creamed now. God. All right.
All right. Well, I said goodbye. My butt said goodbye. So
Now
this is goodbye.
say goodbye. Goodbye.